in College Station and beyond. It is 8:06 on a foggy morning right here in Aggieland, USA. This is episode 2363 of TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, October the 22nd, 2020, just 9 days away from the Aggies and the Arkansas Razorbacks in a nighttime Halloween game at Kyle Field. Really looking forward to that one, but it is bye week. Lia Musgrave back in the host chair this morning. I will be with you for the next 3 hours, and I am so excited about it. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're staying positive, and I hope you're testing negative. And I hope if you do one thing today, you get to go outside, because it's foggy right now, but it's supposed to be an absolutely beautiful day here in the Brazos Valley, and Lord knows we won't get that weather for much longer. So Gabe and Olin are out the rest of the week, so you're stuck with me for a little while, but luckily I've got a fun show planned for you, and I'm really excited to be hanging out with you for the next 3 hours. If you want to be a part of our program, we would love for you to call or text the show. One number, 693-1150, 979-693-1150. When you do text us, we would love your first name and your location. Tell us who you are, tell us where you're coming from, and tell us what's on your mind. You can also tweet us at TexAgs Radio. So like I said, pretty fun show for you this morning. We will touch base with Texas A&M women's basketball associate head coach Kelly Bond-White at 8:35. Haven't checked in with them in a while, so really excited to get an update on what's going on with the Aggie women. At 9:05, our QB1, former Texas A&M and Dallas Cowboys quarterback Stephen McGee joins me at the top of the second hour. We're going to close the book on Mississippi State, and we're going to look at the whirlwind that is quarterback play in the SEC right now. At 9:35, we go out to the West Coast, and we're going to check in with Aaron Torres of Fox Sports Radio and the ever-popular Aaron Torres podcast. We're going to close the second hour with Jay Holmes, Texas A&M men's swimming and diving coach. These guys are out here breaking Ryan Lochte's SEC records, okay? If you're not paying attention, you probably should be. So we're going to check in with him at 9:50, and then in the third hour of our program, we are going to douse ourselves in maroon Kool-Aid. It's the fan show in the third hour of the program on a Thursday morning. I could not be more excited about it. So just me for the first half hour, but luckily I am not entirely alone. We've got Dalton Hughes and the crew back in the fishbowl producing our show this morning. Litton, good morning. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. You'd probably be better off being alone than me. I think I'm probably just going to bring you down if I'm being honest.
Yeah, you're a little, I don't want to use the word grumpy, but you're definitely sleepy this morning.
Yeah, bye week came along and I didn't need the extra rest that I don't usually get, so instead of me being well rested and ready to go, I'm not at all. So it should be fun. I found some caffeine, but I'm excited to help you through these next 30 minutes before we get Coach Bond-White on. I actually don't think we've ever had her on the show.
We did a couple years ago, I think, but it was a conglomeration of all of the head coaches. So I don't think we've ever done that one-on-one.
We had all the assistants on that day.
We had all the assistants on that one day. But, it is kind of funny because we think bye week is the week that everybody in sports media gets to rest. And for you and I, this has kind of been a crazy week. So I don't know where we go from here.
I mean, more crazy for you than me.
This is true.
I've learned a long time ago that if there's a week I don't want to fill in and host, it's bye week. No offense. It just,
nope.
To me, I'm like, I got to do all this. Like, this is my week. My goal of taking vacation this week was ruined by the Los Angeles Dodgers because Richard Zane is not here. And Jamie needs Richard. Like, she says it all the time. If I'm going to fill in, I need Richard here, as she laughs at me. But yeah, so I'm going to hopefully get a day or two next week. We'll see, but it's still fun. It's not like, I feel like it's not even a normal bye week, right? Because the Big Ten starts this week. Like, I've yet to see Ohio State play football, and to me that's kind of crazy and makes it kind of exciting for this weekend.
It's crazy, too, that we work in college football, and we love college football, and we cover college football. I feel like we never get to watch college football. On a Saturday, if I'm on the road, which I'm not this year, but normally on the road or at Kyle Field, you guys are back here and we're all here at the end of the game. We're just working through the entire Saturday. I feel like I never get to just sit on my couch and be lazy. And now, I work until about 2 or 3 in the morning on Friday nights, and I wake up and now I get to watch college football. It's absolutely insane. Like, this has never happened to me since I started my career in sports media. So I'm not going to lie, I kind of don't hate it.
I don't hate it. You're talking about not going to the games. Somehow, the way we're doing games this year, I ended up with more work, which not sure I'm a fan of, but whatever. It's happened. But I definitely feel like I've watched less football so far this year, and I don't know if that's a factor of there isn't Big Ten football. Because I'm a big fan of watching the Big Ten before A&M's game over like the Big 12 or something like that. So we'll see if this changes what I'm watching and when I'm watching it. Regardless, I'll put it this way. I'm excited to not be right here on Saturday where I normally am watching games and producing content. So a Saturday not doing that is going to be fun, especially because the way things look, I may be doing this into late January. You never know.
You never know.
Early January.
Also somebody who has the weekend off because Aggie volleyball's on the road, Aggie soccer's on the road. We've got Anna Peterson hanging out in the social center this morning. Anna, how are you?
I'm doing great. It's always fun having Leah host for several reasons, but one being that, believe it or not, Gabe does not care to talk about The Bachelor in between breaks.
This is true. This is true. I think it was like 8:04 and Anna goes, "Are you keeping up with The Bachelor?" And unfortunately,
I always
guys,
gotta ask.
I had to say yes because I'm rooting for our dude Easy. You know, I have no drama in my life, and so
Exactly.
I have to live vicariously through other people. And so, I mean, hey, we have Mike Leach and Lane Kiffin in the SEC now, so I'm kind of getting my fix this year, but that's pretty good. What do you have planned this weekend, Anna? Anything fun?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's always with this pandemic, you never know what's gonna happen, but maybe just hang out with some friends. Nothing special, but yeah.
Well, it's true that we do not know what's going to happen. Before we lay out our topic, I want to hit some quick news and notes here. The University of Florida football will remain closed until at least Monday as the team attempts to navigate a COVID-19 outbreak. Now, this is not brand new information. Dan Mullen is still testing positive and still in isolation at home, but they have had 26 player cases since October the 13th, and so they're trying to shut this thing down. Last week's game against LSU was postponed tentatively until December 12th, and now their matchup against Mizzou is postponed as well. According to Ross Dellinger of SI.com, LSU is self-imposing penalties for rules violations in hopes that the NCAA does not levy more after a 2-year investigation uncovered $180,000 in booster payments to the father of a football player. So the school is docking itself 8 football scholarships over a 2-year period. They're also reducing recruiting visits, and they're also banning Odell Beckham Jr. from their facilities for 2 years after, if you guys remember, he handed out $2,000 to players when the Tigers won the national championship. Told everybody that was fake money. I kind of had a hunch that was not fake money because, I mean, come on. But I would like to know what's going to happen. And I'd like to be a fly on the wall when the security guard is standing there and OBJ tries to walk in the door and he says, "No, I'm sorry, Mr. Beckham, you cannot come in here." So that's going to be interesting to follow. Texas A&M also self-reported an NCAA violation. The men's basketball team was practicing during the COVID-19 shutdown. They reportedly held impermissible workouts off campus, which violates the coronavirus shutdown ordered by the NCAA. Only statement that we have at the moment is the school said, "We are aware and handling appropriately." And like we mentioned a little bit earlier, the calendar says it's week 8 in college football. The SEC says it's week 5. The Big Ten says it's week 1. I want to give you a little bit of a reminder of kind of the dumpster fire that has been the scheduling and the COVID outbreak and bringing Big Ten football back. So August 5th, the league announced its revamped schedule, and this was a big deal. And then 6 days later, it postponed its season indefinitely, an 11-3 vote. Then September 15th, the 14 university presidents voted to play an 8-game conference-only season over 8 weeks, and that's going to be punctuated by a Big Ten title game on December 19th, just in time, by the way, for the final college football playoff ranking on December 20th. And that starts tomorrow night with Illinois at Wisconsin. That will be broadcast on the Big Ten Network. But a lot of surprises, a lot of really great things going on in college football. I, for one, am just lucky to be watching it. So I've got a fun topic for you guys today. Anna, let's go ahead and lay that out.
Yeah, with all that being said, Thursday's topic is what has been the most surprising thing you've seen in college football so far, the 2020 season, and why? So you could go any way with this. We want to hear what you got to say, though, so we're excited.
Yeah, guys, something's been on my mind for a while. College football in 2020 is belligerently intoxicated. I'm not going to lie, I kind of love it. So I want to hear from you. What do you think is the most surprising thing about college football in 2020? What has your attention right now? What's been shocking you? Because over the last couple of months, we have seen narratives change unlike anything I've ever seen before. So I have my list, and I want to hear from you. What's on your mind? What has surprised you the most? So I'm going to start and kind of go top down here. So first thing that I have on my list, college football in 2020 is all about outscoring your opponent. So we all know that the last couple of decades, the SEC has subscribed to this philosophy of we're going to run the ball and we're going to play good defense. And the SEC is looking so much like the Big 12 this year. I think the defenses are kind of starting to put the pieces together and turn things around. But when OU played Texas 2 weeks ago in 4 overtimes and put up total 98 points, it didn't really surprise anybody. But when you look at the rest of college football, Oklahoma put up 517 yards and 35 points and lost to Kansas State. Ole Miss put up 647 yards and 48 points and lost to Alabama. UCF had 798 yards of total offense and lost to Memphis. I remember when you used to have to fight for every single yard in the SEC, let alone 600. Defenses are just crazy this year. And we know that Georgia is going to be a Georgia defense, maybe not so much what we expected in that Alabama game last week, but they were in the game for at least the first half. I think maybe the arrival of Lane Keach, that's not a name, Mike Leach and Lane Kiffin arriving in the SEC probably had a little bit of something to do with this, maybe a weird off season as well. But that's just been a huge shock for me. Number 2 is that COVID has not halted college football. Guys, it's week 5 in the SEC and we've made it through all of this. They were saying week 1, the goal is to get to week 2. Week 2, the goal is to get to week 3. Week 3, the goal is to get to week 4. And here we are. And you know what? There were going to be some bumps in the road along the way. We knew that was going to happen because that's college football during a pandemic. I'm sorry to break it to you, but the fact that Nick Saban was on the field coaching on Saturday, bye weeks were implemented just in case, and that definitely is being shown with the University of Florida. I mean, the Big Ten is coming back. How many people thought when they canceled the season that public opinion would be able to influence the Big Ten enough to get them to be playing college football tomorrow? Absolutely crazy. I want to hear from you. So we're going to take a time out. On the other side of the break, we're going to get some of your reaction. We're going to do Heisman Watch, and I'm going to tell you what else is on my mind. You are listening to TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner Jewelers, live on the Zone.